Hey everyone, it's Brandy. You're watching Abstract Crafter. Today we're going to do something a little different. Hopefully a lot of fun. Hopefully informative. Hopefully all of the above. So, you can see I got a lot of stuff going on. You can probably see what my paper looks interesting. I spent a lot of time prepping this. Took me a long time to find all the materials I needed. But we're doing it today. The ultimate drill pen filler showdown. Let me explain a little bit of how it's gonna go, and then we'll get into it. Alright, so I have 9 different fillers. The only one I mean, I'm sure that there's other like waxes that I'm missing. I was not able to come across blue, and I don't have one of the hearts from Diamond Art Club. So those are the only ones I feel like are missing, but I don't think that ultimately that wax is going to be much different. I really don't think that the diamond dots is going to be much different, but we don't know. We'll have to find out. They claim to be far superior than every other brand, so let's see if their wax is also superior. So I also have something new that I haven't seen on anyone else's channel, and I am curious to see how it compares to what's already been out there. So what we're going to do is each one of the 9, they're going to get their own fresh drill pen, never been used. Let's see if it'll focus for you. It doesn't really ultimately matter, but there we go. None of them have been used. I figure that's the best way. So there's nothing like getting in the way, no friction. And I have these tapes here from my building houses. And I've already tested these out to save a little bit of time and trouble to see if they'd even work or if I'd have to go and buy some double-sided sticky tape. The permanent glue tape works far better. This one isn't this removable tape, easy to use. It's sticky, but it's very slidey. So, I mean, we could, if we really wanted and we had, to see, but I don't think it's really going to affect anything. This is a lot more like what our canvases are made of, the ones with the opaque paper anyway. Not so much the ones with glue. I could try that on a different day, but ultimately I think the results are going to just be the same no matter what. So, this guy's going out of here. This is what we'll be using, and I didn't want to lay it down because I didn't know if it would dry ahead of time. So we'll put a strip down. We're going to test 310s, 5200s, and this is the color I had the most of. I wanted to test AB gems to see, there we go, to see if any or all would pull the coating, oh my gosh, would pull the coating off. I know I've had that issue with the blue tack, the Loctite. So I also have, these are square, and these two are obviously round. And so I thought I saw a hole right away in that one, but it doesn't really matter. I don't think that there'll be much of a difference. The reason I wanted to use black and white was so that we could see anything that might get stuck, leftover boogers, whatnot. The majority of the mess that you would get would be within the first 10 drills or so. So I figure we'll start with the 5200s. I know I have it listed black, white, AB. So okay, we'll start with the 310s, and then we'll see if anything gets left over on the 5200s, because some you won't be able to tell the color on the white, and some you won't be able to on the black, so that's why I went with both. And then we'll test this, because it'll still be nice and tacky enough to see if it's going to pull that coating off. I will zoom in so that you can see for each category. So our contenders that we have, again, we have this, I have 3 different types of wax that I've gotten. This is like the red wax, that's the most common. We also get a light pink wax, and I did take the covers off to see there is a difference. And then we also get this more translucent one that can look purple at times, and I notice a difference in them you know, just from touching them like that. So we'll see which one of these is ultimately better, and to see, like I said, if Diamond Dots is any good. And then we also have, you can see there is a little bit of what was left in the pick-me-up pen right there. We'll stay away from that blue tack. We'll just focus on this outside edge here where the stuff from the pick-me-up pen, where I had scraped it out. I knew it would come in handy. I knew there would be a good reason for scraping it out and not just mixing. Oh, come on. Of course, it wants to stick right to the paper. And then we have, like I said, I have a new contender as well. Something I have not seen, but I had been wanting to try this. This seems to be everybody's favorite. We have our tried and true Loctite. I've already been using it. I already love it. I happened to find the poster tack that everybody said was just like the Loctite, so we'll see for ourselves. And then I also found this the other day. I was bound and determined to find something that we hadn't seen before, and I looked in the glue aisle, and lo and behold, it jumped out at me. So we'll see if this is any good. They all claim to do the same thing. You know, I'll tell you some more stuff about them as we get to these ones. I'm not going to talk too much about the pink wax. That's mostly just as, you know, kind of like a standard, so we can get an idea of if it's even worth picking any of these up and paying the extra money for these. And I'll also talk about how much I paid for each one of those. So why don't we pause, and I'll get everything all set up. We'll get zoomed in and get started. Alright, let's get started. I got those all out and ready. If there's any notes to be made, I have a pen ready. Fred can actually participate because how would I choose what to put in him? Plus he's already got this. So since I have this already cut apart from the Loctite, I didn't want to open up a fresh one. So that's the only one that won't get open, but the rest of them I haven't opened, just so that you guys could see that there's no tampering going on. Like I said, though, this is the only one that's been opened, and I hope you'll trust me on that one. Okay. So hopefully everything's in frame and nothing will get cut off. Let's start with pen number 1. Well, let's actually lay down our double-sided tape here. And it's picking up all kinds of hair. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, we got our tape down. You can see it's nice and sticky. If we need to, we can put a double layer down. Maybe we should just do that anyway, just to be on the safe side. Just make sure it's nice and tacky. Make sure nobody gets an advantage over the other. Not that it really matters. A lot of people don't like the pink wax. Mostly, like, the reason I don't like it is I feel like I have to constantly refill, and I'm always running out. But I've been noticing that the Loctite gets dirty very fast, and then I have to redo that one right away anyway. So alright, we got pen number 1. Let's peel back. And let's just stab. A lot of times people have to do this twice, so for the sake of consistency, we will do each one twice. And then I'm not going to wipe anything off, even though typically I would. So we'll start with the black. Let's bring that in. Black square. Doesn't matter if it's garbage or not. Doesn't look concave. I guess I need something more heavy down. So there's the black. It's looking good inside the pen still. I don't really expect anything dramatic with these ones. I'm going to push When I get to the white ones, I'm going to push a little harder just to see what kind of overflow we'd get. Alright, I can see the boogers. It's kind of what I was looking for. Alright, so now with these ones, you'll notice that some of them have a brighter coating than the others. So I'm going to try to go for the ones that have a lot of, that seem to have more coating. It doesn't want to pick that one up. I got that one, but not very well. Alright, so as you can see, they're on there. They ain't going anywhere. And I wanted to peek inside there. And you can see that that did pull off that coating. So, that's number one. Let's get it out of here. The only note I think I would make on that is it did pull off AB coating. Oops, I put my hand right in that tape. Left, what did I expect? Booger. I kind of expect them all to leave a booger. Okay, so fresh pen. I have no idea when I'm on camera. Let's get this one peeled back and check her out. And the only reason I wanted to test all the different waxes is because I could feel a difference, like I had mentioned. So there's one. This one feels a lot softer than this one. This one feels a lot more firm and not as like gooey. So we got that one nice and full. And let's move it out of the way. We'll start with black. And it's kind of wanting to not grab on very well. Let's grab a white. And this is the one I'm going to push down really hard to see what kind of overflow we'll get. Sometimes you got to do that. And let's see if we can get a good one here. Or try to. And that one picked that one up better than the first one. So let's see. That one didn't seem to pull off that coating as much, but I did do it. I did touch down on it twice. And I'm still not seeing anything. So far, this dark pink wax seems to be better than the light pink wax. Well, let's go on to our number 3. I'm going to check to make sure we're still in frame. Okay. Let's peel back the cover. It's just going to be the same old, same old. Oh, and this one is like obviously sticking to my finger. This one is really like goopy. Alright. Let's insert once. And twice. Let's move it off to the side, get it out of our way. And black. Oh, and that one left boogers immediately. I knew it would. I bet it's going to pull that coating right off. White. Oh, and it didn't even want to... It dropped that one right away. It couldn't even pick it up. And it... Oh, it stuck to the side. So, that's the first time that happened. Pushing down and twisting. And it didn't leave anything behind, but I can see a bunch of it on the black. Now, let's get our AB gem in there. Pick that one up better. And push down a second time. And this one pulled a lot of the coating off. It's hard to see. You can see it right in there a little bit. Not as much as the first one. I'm trying to keep these in order as well. So that, yeah. So that we can take a look afterwards. Mostly for the AB gem. So yeah, I don't like this one. This one is sticky and very goopy, and You can see like the indents just from me grabbing it with the tweezers out of the baggie. It's very soft. So I should go back here. Dark pink wax seems it's, I'd say, better than light. I'll just do LT for light, and didn't pull AB coating as much. Okay. And this one, I'm going to say it's very gooey. And it likes to pick up extras. Picks up extras easily. And I'm not going to write boogers because they all are, they're pretty much all gonna. So let's see if Diamond Dots really is the superior pink wax. So that just looks so satisfying. One. Oh, and it's already just overflowing. Two. Yeah, that's already kind of overflowing. It's hard to see because it's the color of it. Let's see it, and you can see right here it dropped some. Get in there with the rest of your friends. Okay, black. And it did already leave boogers too on that one. White. Oops, I didn't push down as hard. And our AB. There's a good one. And one, and a two. Let's take a look. And you can see a little bit, but I'm not as bad as that first one. You can see it right in there where it's like the light's bouncing. So you can imagine after doing those a couple of times, and I can almost see it. We'll zoom in on some of these after. So you can see exactly how much got left over, how much of the coating gets pulled off. So now we're going to go down into our Loctite. And I'm going to have to set this down though, because this stuff is kind of hard to like get in. You have to stab, and then we'll do a second time. Let's make sure we really got it in there. It's the only thing is you got to make sure, because sometimes it'll pull it out, and you can see it in there, hopefully. Oh, get back over here. We're not done with you. Alright. Black. Ooh. Gives you that nice noise. Pushing down. Oh. Yeah, that almost pulled it right off. And you can see how bad it's overflowing off the top. Now, typically I would go in and take that off, but we haven't done that for anybody else, so let's see. We want to make sure one's really nice and coated. Here we go. And I can almost guarantee that, yeah, that this one would pick up friends too if you're like going over in this area. Alright, I want to make sure we're still in frame. We're sliding a little bit out, so let's just, there we go. I can already see, so let's press down on that again, give it a little turn. And yes, it did start pulling the coating off. You can see a little speck of it, and you can see how it's trying to come off already. Okay. Alright. Now let's get into some new ones. Jot poster tack. People are saying that this is just as good as the original. And it comes like that, and it has no extra information on it. The information you get is right on the front. This is $1. Oh, and the Loctite, I paid around $3. I bought it a while back, so I can't remember exactly. I was going to try to just cut a piece off, but maybe I can. Yes. There we go. I don't know. We can put poster tack right there. We should probably cover up our others and get them put with their section. Oops, yep, that's right. And there's the cover for this one. And I realize I didn't write any more notes, but I really don't need to. I can always just go back and watch this video. And there's our cover. It seems not that much different, so we'll see. I did get a piece of paper stuck here. Okay. Oh, I feel like that broke my pen. It cut through the paper, that's what that noise was. Alright, second dip. I'm just trying to scoot it around to make sure it cuts. Oh, that's all over the pen. So you maybe wouldn't need to do a second dip necessarily. But alright, let's well, it's not as loud as a Loctite, which tells me it doesn't have as much of a grip on it. And then I just kind of want to see if that... It would, if you had a fuller tray, it would grab on extra ride-alongs. So again, with the white, we're going to push down on it and give it a little turn as if we're really trying to get it... Oh! At least with this one, it stayed on the pen and you would be able to pull that off yourself. That really just gross. It doesn't even want to stick to this, it keeps coming off. And I'll give you my final thoughts on all of these after. I'm worried about these poor ABs. There's a nice colorful one there. Let's press down. And it pulled that coating right off. Press down again. And a lot of that coating has come off into the pen. You can see. Yep, it's just glistening away. And what that really tells me is that you wouldn't be able to do very many of the AV gems with it. Alright. We'll do Aleene's next. We'll just jump right over to the silhouette since it's already out. No, we better not. I don't want to mix up the pens. So I did grab baggies in case I had to cut anything out so that it could be by itself. So this Aleene's I paid... Let's see. Hold on, let me look. I have the receipt. Okay, so Aleene's was... I'm trying to show you. I paid $3.49 for the Aleene's, $3.99 for the Elmers, just so that when we get there, I don't have to say it again. Let's open Aleene up. So this is considered reusable craft putty. And it says to tear off the amount you need, make sure that surfaces are clean, dry from grease and loose materials, pull and stretch until subtle, roll into a ball. Well, we're not going to do any of that, we're testing it as it is. Okay. Oh, we want the backing. Let's just come over here and cut a nice chunk off. There we go. take the cover off. So, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't sing to you like that. And we'll put her box right over the top there. Fresh, clean drill pen. Oh, okay. Don't want that in there. So this one's harder to see on the paper, but this is why I wanted to use black and white. You know, you probably wouldn't really need to dip in twice for like the Loctite, the poster tack, the instant tacky, but we're going to for consistency's sake. And again, I twist when I get there to make sure that it's breaking off. So I'm really excited because I've been hearing so many good things about this that I'm going to love this so much. I really hope so. Ooh. Ooh, that's nice. Now it's might be a little harder to see any. Okay, so there's something hanging off. That's not the Aleene's. That's was a piece of plastic from the drill. So it's gonna be harder to see if it leaves residue behind on that one, but a little bit. And a little. We got a little hanging off, just like with the Loctite. Let's see how it holds up, or how it treats our ABs. There. And again, this is probably going to pick up extras, yeah, because of how it hangs over. Oh my. We won't hold that against her. Let's find a new one now. There's a good one. Lots of coating on that one. So we press down and press down again. And let's take a peek. Not really. I mean, a lot of hangover. And like I said, typically you would just take your finger and wipe that off as soon as you saw it. And I'm not really seeing anything hanging for the AB gems. So that makes me exceptionally happy. Okay, we gotta put her in order over there. Alright, now we're on to the silhouette. And I'm gonna make sure I get only in this white right on the edge here. One. And that comes off really easily too. I mean, that really only works if you are filling your pen with it. Oh, it did get a little bit in there, but there's really nothing I can do about that. I want to get this Aleene's covered back up because I have a feeling that I am going to have a new favorite with the Aleene's. You know, and I mean, this isn't like the best test either. I'll probably, my next drill with me, I'll probably switch out. I'm trying to find one that's similar in shape to the others. I'll probably switch out pens quite often. This is just more of a, like a quick test. The most standard way I could figure out how to do it. And just because I did with the others, it doesn't seem to be grabbing any buddies. But if it were in the pen still, it does have a tendency to spill over because this nozzle, as you can see, the opening is quite huge. So there's a lot of room for that to, you know, spill out. Alright, let's... Yep, there's some hanging over, and again, it's got like that hangover, which you would normally clean away, but... I'm trying to be consistent with the coating. And yeah, and it's picking up extras because I didn't wipe that away. But one, ooh, that pulled a lot off. And two, I'll give it a little, and there it went. So as you can see, that pulled a lot off. It's not super fair because it is mixed a little bit with this. It's mostly, like if we look in the pan, from where I had grabbed right on the edge. You can see that there is a little bit of blue mixed in there, but it was mostly from the silhouette. So we'll have to just do with that what we will. Alright, now we're on to the brand new contender. And a little information about this. It says it's ideal for hanging decorations and posters. I was about to say posters, and read stays moist at the same time, so I was about to say poist. Nerd. This is the reason I thought I would need the baggies. Oh, that is thick. Wow. Let's see how we can do this. Let's cut a little up. Oh, it is really soft. My poor craft scissors are really just going through it today. Oh, and it's stringy. It's a lot stringier than the others. So we got that there. I want to make sure, since that's on the edge of the paper, that we're still. Alright, we're still in screen, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry, fellas. Ooh, I should have cut myself a bigger piece, but seeing as how this is the most expensive one out of all of them, probably because it's got the Elmer's name. And our last pen. Oh, it is just sticky. Let's see if I can hold that. Oh God, see, I wouldn't go in for another round typically, but because we did it, it's really soft. It's very, see, and it pulled itself out. It's probably the way I was doing it. Alright, let's try that again. I didn't twist and cut it off either. Second dip. Alright, let's see what she's made of. I'm guessing this is probably going to leave behind the worst boogers. And there's our black one. Not so. It's got that nice pucker noise that I like. Sorry, Fred. I keep pushing you around. Alright, so now with this one we're going to press really hard, and yeah, it left a lot. I knew it might because of how sticky it is. This is really a good test here as to what might happen to it. Or with it. So here we go. Let's put that down. And again. Let's check it out. Alright, so let's see how much, and it did pull off a little bit too. So, now, I'm afraid you're going to have to move. Let's move a lot of this stuff out of the way because I'm going to bring the paper up closer instead of trying to zoom in more. And let's just take a look. So, that's what they look like from the light pink wax. Ew, and there's a dog hair fresh right there for us. Stay steady. You can see, I'm going to grab the pen as well. And so you can see it didn't leave anything on the square, but it did on the white one, and that's the one where we put a lot of pressure down, and the coating is not doing so well. So there, as far as oh my gosh, as far as the pink wax goes, it did pull a lot off. So I don't like that one. And here is our dark pink wax, which is the one I have the majority of. Some people will call it red. And that hair was already on the roll when I put it down, so you'll have to excuse that. So it didn't leave anything on the first drill. It did leave, look at that huge booger it left on that. As far as the coating though, it didn't really pull that much off. I mean, there's a little bit of it, but every single one of them did. Okay, I'm making sure I'm putting them in a different spot now. So let's look at this translucent one. I did not like that one at all. That one, to me, I would probably just throw away. And this one is the one that can typically look purple, depending on, you know, when it's next to these, it definitely looks more purple. And when it's like in a baggie, it can appear more purple. But let's take a peek at, oh, that's diamond dots. So this is what it did, and that paper is in the way. But I can see on this side of the black, that's why the paper is sticking onto that. Let's just try to get in and pull that paper off. Yeah. It's hard to see on the black, but if I can get the angle right there, you can see a ring. So this was the only one to really leave a deposit on the first one. And then it didn't really leave one on the second one because it left it all on the black one. And I don't recall, I don't think it pulled that much of the coating off. Let's take a peek. No, because it's so goopy. Almost sounds like I'm saying goofy. It's so goopy it didn't have that stick like the rest of them. I definitely would not use that one. Diamond dots. Let's take a peek. And this one too did leave some on the black. It's so hard. I should have picked a different color for that one, but I can see it. Maybe the best thing to do is just to scrape it off. And so it did leave the residue on the black. And we can actually come back over here and it did leave little boogers. And so the diamond dot one, and it also left a little tiny bit on the white. Not enough that I can even get off. Nope. And as far as the coating goes, it doesn't look like it disturbed it too much. And no, it really doesn't look like it. And so when I get to these other, when we get down to this one, I'll show you what I mean about scraping it off. So with the Loctite, since we had to, I don't see anything left over on the black drill. And there's just a little tiny bit left on the white. So much tiny bit that it's right there. I just scraped it. But it's not good for these. God, this close-up really shows off every little piece of crap. It did pull a lot of that off. And as you'll see, it did, you know, it overflowed quite a bit. So what you would do is you would just take your finger, and then that would have probably prevented any extra drop off. I'm trying to see. You can see a little bit of the come on. The coating in there. You can see when I turn certain ways, the light will catch it. That's really the only way because of the color of the coating. But you can see it'll start to glisten. And you'll have to excuse my extremely dry fingertips. So, let's take a look and see. There's not really any residue on the black one, so, you know, that was light pressure. That was just, you know, super light pressure. When we pushed down really hard, it left a lot, and look at how hard that would be to clean off of there. And it's very stringy, and it doesn't want to come off. So you would have to almost wait for that to, you know, when you're done, you could hope that it would come off. But look at how dirty that's making that gem. That looks, you know, and you might be able to wipe it with a baby wipe when you're all done. And it did rip the top, that coating right off the very top. Now, let's take a look at that. And you can see right inside there, look at all that. It just ripped that coating right off. So if you're not doing AB gems, you know, and if you didn't want to spend the $3 or couldn't find the Loctite, I would say yes. But as of right now, I won't use this because I have this. Even in a pinch, knowing what I know now, I've never had that kind of a mess. And one way to prevent that, if this is something that you have and you want to use, or you don't want to spend the money and you'd rather just spend the $1 at the dollar store, just have a garbage drill off to the side and use that. And so then every time you go to use it, you would use your garbage drill and just twist it on there to get that extra off, and then just wipe it off with your finger. So let's take a look at Miss Aleene. Let's see. We're over on the silhouette. So it did leave a little bit on the white one. A little bit of garbage there. I'm guessing that might be easily cleaned off. Didn't leave nothing on that one. And this was when, remember now, the white ones we pushed down really hard. As if it, you know, was a checkerboard and that was the center. And it did pull off a lot of the side of the AB gem. Bummer. I really like Aleene. And so again, she easily overflowed. One thing to keep in mind with that though is that, you know, I dipped in twice. A lot of these you wouldn't need to do that. You would only need to go in once. And so pulling the excess off, and then even like taking your tweezers and scraping across, or what I like to do is I have my pan and I'll press down in this like that and twist and just kind of rub it back and forth, and that's how I break my excess off before I start. Alright, almost done, folks. You're hanging in there good. So the pick-me-up pen, it's hard to say with that one because it had a little bit of mixture. Overall, I was quite happy with the stuff inside when I was using it. But in comparison, since in my head, I was comparing it to Aleene's, I do like Aleene's better than the stuff inside the pick-me-up pen. Just from, you know, I used that whole pen, and, you know, like I said, all of these I'm going to have to use a little bit more before I can actually make a solid determination on them. But, you know, and if we look inside the pen, it did pull a lot of that AB off. But again, where I'm seeing it, it's on the part of the blue that I happened to pick up. And if we look closer at that, you can see where it's missing a lot of it. So, whether or not, and look at the dirt ring that was left around there. Probably from the excess. And again, I can't tell you if that's the combination of Loctite with the silhouette or what. Alright, so the one I was absolutely most curious about was the Elmer's. And with the black one, there's nothing left over when you press down lightly. Now, because it is so soft, it did come off a lot. But again, I dipped in twice, and there was no need for that. But look at how cleanly that's coming off so far. I mean, and it's really hard for me to see what I'm doing looking through the camera. But it looks to me to be coming off the easiest. And as far as the AB gems, it did pull a little bit of it off. You can see right in there, that's where the majority of them did it. And if we look inside, you can see that coating in there. So, what do I suggest? Well, if you only have wax, and that's all you can use, I think if you happen to get, we'll just exclude diamond dots because not everybody has that. Out of the 4 of them, the diamond dots wax was my favorite. If we exclude that one, the dark pink. So when you're looking at these 3 chunks of wax, come on. It's harder to see a difference between these two from a distance when you put them right next to each other. You can see this one looks more red and this one looks more pink. It's really hard to tell. You can tell by the consistency. When I press down on this, I don't feel any sticky tackiness. When I push down on this one, it feels rubbery. And if we were to try to pull on it or roll it around, it breaks down nice and easily. And it forms into a little ball nice and easy. And I can stick it right back in there. This one, it seems tougher. And I'm trying to get a chunk off. And there, yeah, it's sticky. It's got the stickiness one might want. But it is a lot, it's tougher. If you get this one, I would say just avoid it. It is so gloopy and stringy, and I can feel it on the sides of it that it's very sticky. So as far as if you decide that you just want to go and you just want nothing to do with the wax, you want to go buy one of these 5 products, I'm going to rate them in 1. Elmer's was my favorite out of the 5, just on first impressions alone. I'd go Elmer's, Aleene's, Loctite, Silhouette, Pick-Me-Up Pen, and the Jot last. Even though it's $1, it's almost just as much of a headache as these pink waxes are. So, yes, it's cheap, but you get what you pay for sure. And the Silhouette can be expensive. It really varies. It can be as low as $4, and it can go all the way up to $7. And so for that reason, it's not my favorite. Now, when you compare just the Loctite, Aleene's, and Elmer's, I love this Elmer's, but I have to use it a little bit more. It felt softer. It was a lot more pliable. And yes, it did leave a lot on there, but I was able to clean it off. And even on this tape, it's hard. I can kind of scrape it off. I mean, the only thing is the color of it. That's the only thing I could see as being a barrier. But it's got good consistency. It's nice and soft. It fills the pen nice and easy. The only thing I need to really test beyond this is how long each of these lasts. Like, I know I can get through a couple days with the Loctite, so my next test, and it won't be in this video, my next test will be seeing how long each one, the Loctite, the Jot, Aleene, Silhouette, and Elmer's, will last me before I have to either A, stir it, or B, replace it altogether. So, yeah, the Jot is good. I was really excited when I found it, so I'm not trying to knock anybody that does have it, and does use it, and does love it. And it is very, very similar to the Loctite, other than the fact that it is quite a bit softer. And, I mean, yeah, it's really soft in comparison to the Loctite. The Loctite can get softer if you play with it, same with the Aleene's, whereas the Jot and the Silhouette Pick-Me-Up Pen are like the version, I would say, after you've stretched it out and played with it a little bit. And the same with the Elmer's. You don't have to, like, fuss with it a whole lot before it's ready to be used. As far as, like, hanging posters, Aleene's, then Loctite, and then Elmer's. Again, I'll have to test that out to try. I'll run a few other tests with these and fill you in an update video down the line. And maybe we'll come back with the same chart. Maybe we'll come back and we'll have more tests to do. If there's other suggestions of things that you guys would like to see me do with this, Because like I said, the next test is going to be a longer test. I might not be able to test this silhouette pen unless I buy a new one. But I will definitely test these 4. And I can even throw in one of the waxes just as a, you know, a steady, a control. Test control. There we go. I knew I'd find the word. And as far as what Fred thinks, he thinks that he's tired of Loctite because look how dirty it gets. It just I'm not as much of a fan of it as when I first started using it. As I am, you know, when I first started using it, it was awesome, and I love the sound it makes when you first fill it, but that sound doesn't last as long as it did when I first started using it. Probably because it's starting to dry a little bit. So I guess that would be another test, is to see how long I could leave each one. Maybe I'll leave these 4 out, leave them out, and, you know, continue to test them to see if they can be revived, so to speak, by rolling them around a little bit and stretching them, or if once they dry, they dry. I know the silhouette pen, the top layer might get a little hard, but in the middle of it, it's nice and soft, and it resumes its shape right away. So you can use this information any way you'd like. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down in the comments. Let me know which one, based on what you could observe of this rough test, which one did you like? Which one really caught your eye? I paid about the same for this as I did for the Elmers. I do believe it was between $3.50 and $4. So, depending on how long they last, might be well worth the cost. But alright guys, with that, I'm going to cut this video off. It ended up being a lot longer than it was intended to be. So, have an awesome day, friends. Have fun diamond painting, crafting, cross-stitching, testing out waxes and putties. And that was so dumb. I love you, friends. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.